Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSi DFS. I'm McKinley412. Hope you all had a fantastic week as we head into Friday night here. Just a small two-game slate before a little bit of break on the weekend for me. But I'll be back with these preview videos next week starting on Monday. If you're new to us, we do have a website. You can come join us. We do have a Discord that you guys can join. We have daily, monthly, and weekly packages. And if you haven't yet, you can always use the code POWERPLAY to get a free day's access if you are interested. So let's just kind of dive right into the slate here. Buffalo is the bigger favorite at -185 at home against Philadelphia. This is a rematch from a game that they played just 2 days ago. And then New Jersey on the road at St. Louis. New Jersey is going to be on the back end of a back-to-back, but I'm not too concerned by that. In terms of the projected goalkeepers, Philadelphia, they are going to have a serious goaltending issue here coming up. Carter Hart is injured, and he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Urson is their typical backup, and he has looked awful in his three appearances so far. He's actually finished in the negatives in terms of DK points all three times. And then they do have a guy that they did send down to the minors, or they might bring back up, but even so, Sutterbaum, he's struggled as well. Last year, I think he had like an 880 save percentage, which was near the bottom of the entire league. So I think that Buffalo is going to be very popular in that regard. But yeah, Philadelphia, they're going to have some goaltending issues. Schmid, 883, I'm not looking too much into that. I think he's going to be a much better play and an option than what he's shown so far this season. Heading through the line stacks, I'm not going too crazy here. Toffoli, Hughes, and Meyer, the top line of New Jersey. I did mention New Jersey, they are on the back end of a back-to-back, but I'm not looking too deep into that, especially this early on in the season. Jack Hughes, his price is continuing to climb. 9.3K, he's now with the likes of Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Pasternak. I'm missing one. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, he's continuing to produce. So I will say his shot volume, though, is a little bit concerning. He has a handful of games here with only 1 to 2 shots on net. And when you're paying this kind of price, you're really going to need some floor to go along with it. So a little bit of reluctance going here, but still, I really like this top line. And then Meyer, he's got a great point streak going on. I think he's got a 6-game point streak, but his price continues to decrease just because he really isn't showing much of a floor. Like, if he's not getting on the score sheet at all, he's not really generating many shots, just not having a ceiling game at all. But still, this is a top 10 offensive producing player just last year. So the fact that he has just collapsed this far so quickly, I don't know if he's injured or what's going on, but Meyer at 5.3K I think is just a little bit fun. They are all on the same power play unit, the top power play unit in the entire league. You can see New Jersey first overall, facing off against the 15th ranked penalty kill of St. Louis. Other line I'm going to be talking about, I could just go with the top line for Buffalo, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go down to their second line. Didn't want to be too obvious here, but the Skinner, Middlestat, Peterka line, very, very affordable. You can see Middlestat and Peterka are sub 3.5K. Skinner, he's been one of the hottest shooters. He's producing shots on net in terms of volume. He's always flirting with a shot on goal bonus. He's got a handful of multi-point games here lately. He's got a great point streak going as well. And I think 7K is just a little bit too cheap for him, especially in this matchup. Now, like I said, this is a relatively new line for Buffalo. They've only played two games together. The first game was against Colorado in their 4-0 win, and they dominated. They led each team in terms of offensive zone time, in high danger chances. They produced a couple of points in that game. And then their last game against the same Philadelphia squad, they opened the game with a trifecta goal. So I think it was Middlestat with the goal, and then it was assisted by Skinner and Peterka. And then Skinner, just a couple of minutes later, he scored with assists from Middlestat and Peterka. The only issue with that one is that it was called back due to being offside by like 3 inches. And don't get me started with the offside challenging in the NHL, but apparently those 3 inches mattered to the full flow of the game. But yeah, so they could have had 2 trifecta goals. This line is looking really solid. And Buffalo, very heavy favorite here. I honestly think they should be a little bit more of a favorite given Philadelphia's goalie concerns here. So going on individual plays, Tage Thompson, 7.7K. He's got like 8 or 9 straight games of double-digit DraftKings points. He gives you a phenomenal floor. Top line center, he's going to be extremely popular, especially because with Hughes' price getting a little bit out of control, I could see people just going down to Thompson here at 7.7. Haula, 4.6K. Nico Hischier for the Devils. He's typically their second line center. He is injured. He's going to be out for quite a bit. And Haula, I know he's the third line center, but he's been the center that's kind of taken a little bit more of a role in terms of minutes of ice time, which is always fantastic. He's got a couple of goals in his previous couple of games, so he's doing well. If you do want to go with that second line center, it is McLeod for New Jersey. I think he's like 3.6 or something, but limited floor on that. And then we're going to go with Robert Thomas, 4.3K, top line center for St. Louis. He does skate on that power play unit as well, and he just eats a ton of minutes. For a forward, he sees 21 to 22 minutes of ice time per game, and has been for the past handful of games, which has been really impressive, honestly. He's a top prospect in the organization, so very affordable and nice play if you do want to go down here. Going towards the wing, Jesper Bratt, he's going to be a guy that you could pair with Toffoli and Hughes and Meyer if you really wanted to. Skates on the same power play unit as all of them, but he is skating on that second line for New Jersey. Tippett, 5.8K. This guy just continues to be a great floor play in terms of shots generated. He's had a handful of games of hitting the shot bonus as of late. I think he had 6 in his last game, 8 in the game before that. So the floor is fantastic with him. He's routinely paying off his salary just even without getting a goal or an assist, but he's more than capable of doing that. Skates on a top line, skates on the power play unit, so I don't mind him at that price. Buffalo, I will say, Luukkonen, he's looked really well. I'm still hesitant to fully be on board. I've seen him struggle in the NHL for years now, but he's looked pretty good the past couple of games. But only on 2-game slate, you got to get exposure to pretty much everybody. And then we'll go with Kapanen at 3.6. I didn't know if I wanted to go with Kapanen or if I wanted to go with Buchnevich. Kapanen gives a little bit more affordability. He skates on that line with Thomas here. The issue with Kapanen is he doesn't see any power play time, but does that matter? I don't know, because St. Louis, their power play is running at a 4% clip. That is laughably hilariously bad. Maybe they get out of it because they're facing off against a poor PK with New Jersey, but I wouldn't expect St. Louis's power play to really do too much here, so you probably shouldn't be building all of your decisions based off of expecting their power play to do well. But Kapanen, I do like the value a little bit more there, and honestly, he hasn't been bad. He's been shooting the puck, he's been getting on the score sheet, and like I said, he skates on a top line with Thomas there. In terms of the defense was looking really ugly, really thin. St. Louis defenders, I don't know, none of them do anything in terms of DFS points. So St. Louis defenders are pretty much all out. Buffalo, you got Dahlin at 6.6K. I guess you could be looking at guys like Power, but that's pretty much for them, unless you're looking for shot block bonuses, and you're looking at guys like Matthias Samuelsson for Buffalo. Philadelphia guys, you're looking at Sanheim and York, and that's pretty much it. And then New Jersey, it's Hamilton and Hughes. And there's just not a lot to like in terms of defenders. So Dahlin, Sanheim, and Hughes, I went here. I went all with guys who are kind of quarterbacking that top power play unit, and who have really done pretty well offensively so far this season. So 2-game slate, super small, not much to talk about, but I do think that the top line for Buffalo with Thompson. Brandon Bureau, he skates on the right wing on that top Buffalo line. He had 2 goals last game. It was his first NHL action so far this season. I could see him being popular just because the game log looks really nice in that one game. One of those goals was an empty net goal, so pretty easy there. And then the R1, he was just fed a beautiful pass from Tage Thompson. I don't think he could have messed it up too much. So he was right in tight on net, but he's fine. He's not much of a shooter, though. He's more of a passer. It's kind of how he always has been in terms of the minors. He's more of a shot assister than more of a shooter himself. So just want to get that out. So yes, that kind of covers the slate here. So good luck in your contest. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you guys in the next one.